So I thought I'd try something a little bit different this month in terms of what am I sowing and growing in October. I thought I would do 3 shorter videos. So the first one is the things that I think are the best, very best things to sow in October. And bear in mind, this is October, so there's not very many things on that list. Then I thought I'd tell you the things that, if you're prepared to take a risk, then these are some other things that you can do. I won't do things that I actually don't recommend, but I will do some things that I think are worth it, but only if you're prepared to take a risk. So that's the second video. And then the third video, which will be the shortest one, is basically the one where I'm just telling you the things that I'm growing. Because a lot of the things that are on those lists, I sowed back in August and September. So I won't be sowing those, but I also do, a few more sort of creative and risky things as well. So the first thing I think is field beans. Now, I'm always raving about field beans, but I do think they are an absolutely incredible crop. You can plant them just as a green manure, but I recommend that you don't do that. You plant them as a harvestable crop. So you plant them in October, cover them about, 1.5 inches deep, something like that. And then as the little tips come up, so around about this sort of size, you'll see a lovely little clump of leaves, and you just pinch that out. And you just keep on doing that, probably every 2 or 3 weeks from each plant. And you can do that all the way through midwinter, late winter and early spring. So it's an incredibly productive crop that you can use in salads, and as you would use as a spinach in cooking. And yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic because it's at a time when really the spinach is stalled. You're not going to get much growth on spinach at that time of year, especially outside. And of course, these field beans, this is what's really remarkable about them, is they keep growing all the way through winter outside, and they're a great alternative to spinach. So field beans, but leave them in, harvest them before they flower, and then you'll have loads of nitrogen embedded in the soil as well. And I'll pop a video in the description that talks all about field beans in much more detail. So next one, green garlic. So we absolutely love green garlic. Green garlic is just ordinary garlic, nothing special about it. It's just you plant it more densely, probably about every 2 inches, and you harvest it green, i.e. immature, before the cloves have divided and you've got a big, garlic bulb. So we generally harvest ours sort of April, May, June, something like that. You could harvest it even earlier. You could plant it really densely and just thin it out in sort of April, then thin it out again in May, and then thin it out, take the last batch in June. It's brilliant. You use the whole of the stem, and some of the leaves, as long as they're in good condition, and of course the monobulb, which will be very small at that time of year. So that's green garlic, fantastic. So next one is just standard garlic. I'm not going to go into that. Everybody's planting garlic at the moment, nothing special about it. Next one, giant mustard. So we don't actually grow this, it's a bit fiery for us, but it's one of those things that you could grow probably better under a cloche or in a cold frame or a low tunnel or a polytunnel at this time of year. But it's it's a really great crop, and nice and fiery, spicy. Smaller leaves are quite nice, actually, not quite as fiery. So definitely recommended. Giant red mustard. Mizuna, that's a great one as well. We really like that. Adds a bit of structure and spice to the salad mixes. Grenoble red. So Grenoble red is a fantastic lettuce. Ideally, you would have sown it in September, but if you sow it in October, you're probably not going to get much of a harvest out of it in winter, but you will get a harvest out of it in early spring. And it's one of those lettuces that just keeps on going, so all the way through to May probably. And it's just really hardy, really prolific, really tasty, and quite beautiful as well. So next one is lamb's lettuce. So I really like lamb's lettuce. But it's a very slow growing lettuce, but it's really nice and tender, beautiful little leaves. But you harvest the whole plant, so there's no sort of cut and come again on it. And as I say, it's very slow growing, but the real thing that gets it on this list is that it's one of those few things that you can grow outside even with snow on the ground and all that sort of thing. It doesn't matter, it'll keep on growing. Yeah, so one of the few things now, if you're sowing it at this time of year, you're probably not going to get a harvest off it until February, maybe even March time, but then harvest it quickly because it'll run to seed, you know, the next month probably. So next one is Roxy. So there's not many lettuces really that I recommend sowing at this time of year, but Roxy is one of them. And again, like Grenoble Red, you know, it should have been really sown in August and September, but if you're growing it under cover, then it'll probably do pretty well. And come early spring again, maybe a little bit into late winter, you'll get this amazing dark red, you know, really quite succulent lettuce. I think it's much better than Marvel of All Seasons and Marvel of Winter and all of these sorts of things. It doesn't have the crunch that you'll get from something like Winter Density, but I recommend you do Winter Density in December and January and February really, rather than now. So next one is Radish, something like Scarlet Globe. It's very fast to mature. Yeah, forget about the sort of 3 weeks that you might enjoy in summer, but you know, in about 2 months, so you know, before the end of the year certainly, you get a nice little harvest of radishes. So it's, you know, fairly reliable, and of course you can eat the leaves as well. Next one, pretty obvious, onion sets. We'll do a white onion set and a red onion set. I've got some varieties, you can look at those in the description. And yeah, so I think that it's definitely worth doing a small number. I wouldn't do more than a month's supply because your main crop onions will be ready by then. And why tie the ground up for that long period of time? Because you could be growing field beans and actually harvesting them all the way through winter, and then just plant your onions in March, April time. So that's what I'd recommend is, you know, if you've got any spare space after you've done your field beans and some of the other things on this list, then consider, you know, just a small bed, you know, something like that sort of size of overwintered onions. We do most of ours from seed, but we will do a few from sets as well. But if you did them from seed, you'd have to have started them in August. So next one is spinach, and yeah, I mean, who would be without spinach in spring, early spring? Right now, if you plan to sow in spinach, you're not going to get a very big crop over winter, but come early spring, you'll get a lovely, abundant, really early crop. And yeah, it's well worth doing. We would do something like Medania, Giant Winter, but we'd also always do something like Red Kitten, just because it's just so beautiful. And so that is pretty much it. Those are the things that I'd really recommend that you do in October. October's not the best time to do them. For the best time, follow along my monthly sowing guides. That gives you the optimum times for an early, mid and late crop. Now we're pushing the boat, but I think all of these things you'd be successful with. And if you want to see veggies that you can take a risk on, watch out for my next video coming in a couple of days. So I've also, just as a special treat, added an extra feature to my allotment planning database that features the best things for the month of October. And so I thought I'd quickly just show you that now. And so basically what we've got are, it's just like my normal views onto my planning database, but it's just in order, priority order, with the things at the top that I most recommend and the things at the bottom that I least recommend. And I put all the details in there of you know, the seed packets that we use, all the details of the varieties, the sowing dates, photos, you know, all that sort of thing. Yeah, it's a really nice little database. Please take a look at it. All the details are again in the description of the video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.